You are now listening to Artist at Work.
Artist at Work.
Artist at Work. Welcome back, everyone. This is Artist at Work. I am your host, 1AM, and today we are speaking with one of my good friends, Reckless, who is an artist here in Gilroy. But let him introduce himself.
Sub one, I am Reckless. I'm a rapper here from Gilroy, California. Devilish Ways recording / smooth music. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little nervous. I'm not used to be on this side of the spectrum being interviewed, so
no, I know. So tell us a little bit about that, because you actually do your own interviews with artists. So
yeah, I have my own interview series on YouTube, where I interview different artists from around the Bay Area, Central Valley, or wherever I can find any good talent that I feel like I want to expose and give a platform to. And I've been going strong for I don't even know any years, 4, 5 years or some shit like that. And it's helped me gradually get better as an interviewer and really appreciate different points of view of music from different artists from different areas. And it's helped me also influence my style, as well as what's going out there, what's the samples being out there in the music, and helps shape where I want to go in my direction in music. Right. So it's cool time, great times.
When did you actually start it?
I started it in let's see, it was I think 4 or 5 years ago. A friend of mine, also a fellow rapper named Bam Bam, wanted an interview done, and I was like, you know what? No, I'll do an interview with you. I'll get my stuff ready, because I had a GoPro camera that I bought. I was trying to fuck around and see what I can do with it, and I said, you know what? I have a camera. I have a car that's soundproof. I can just make a series like that. So we ended up getting together, set up the time, and met up. I wrote down questions, and I got him to rehearse a little bit, because of course it's nerve-wracking to do interviews. I'm doing all this in one breath right now, so
yeah, you're good. Don't feel rushed.
I play it off really well. I'm kind of learning. So from there, we got together, and we just set it up and started doing the interview. From there, it was already a crazy experience, because I immediately started learning a bunch of stuff about camera placements, background, what can happen during an interview, and the tone of an interview. Because at the time I was much more nervous than I appear to be right now, and I wore glasses the first time just because I was very, very insecure about everything. I was oh, my glasses on, I'll look cool, whatever, and I'll hide my face sort of. And I did the interview, and it felt good. I felt good that I helped somebody get a platform to promote their stuff, and it helped me get to know more people. So I was cool. That's cool, because believe it or not, this wasn't my actual first interview ever. Because I've been interviewing people for many years now, and this was just my first ever attempt at getting something that's actually my own, to be able to control and be able to create content whenever I feel and with people I feel deserve it. So it was a cool starting point for me. But I've been doing interviews since 2008.
Oh wow.
That's the first interview I've ever done.
Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so for a lot of the people that are just new to you, are you an independent artist, or are you signed with a label?
I'm a little on the fence of both of them, because I am signed to a label. My cousin's label is where I started with, Devilish Ways Recording. Shout out to Tragic One. But I also have my own personal label, which I basically put my music through most of the time. I usually maybe get a an approval from Devilish Ways, just from, hey, yo, check this out, my project. Oh, that's cool. I approve it. It's cool. Put their stamp on it, and that's basically how they get their Devilish Ways stamp on it, But I'm predominantly a solo artist that's independent. So I don't really adhere to no one. Even the label, I don't really do what they tell me. I just do what the fuck I want to do.
You're nah, cuz I ain't gonna listen to you.
Nah, we ain't doing that today. So yeah, predominantly independent.
So other than doing your music and interviewing people, what else do you do? I know you have a podcast. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I do. Me and my cousin Tragic One have a podcast called the Devil's Jukebox podcast, where we talk about basically anything we really want. It's mostly music orientated, but we do experiment and dabble. Like the last episode was pretty experimental. We just try to talk about different topics. You've heard it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool, and it just helps me like be able to like sort of practice my speech really, because when I first started doing interviews, it was very very monotone. Let's like here's a question, answer it. What, want me to
Yeah.
expand? No. Next question. So like from there, it kind of helped me like like break myself free and incorporate more of my personality into a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, my interviews are still basically monotone, but I do incorporate more personality more now than I have when I first started. So that's a cool thing this podcast is doing. So yeah, me and my cousin, we started it. I always wanted to do a podcast. I was like, yo, we need to do a podcast. I've been watching hella heavy, and like I think we can hella do it. Our personalities hella match, hella cool, so it would be a cool time. So we ended up making it happen.
Yeah, I liked listening to it because it's like that authentic, just like you guys are just chilling and it's just like good conversation. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. I'm gonna put that in the description as well. So you do a lot of different things, and I kind of just want you to talk a little bit about how did you actually like start like with as far as like music. What got you into that?
Music's always been part of my life from the beginning, from my parents listening to music while we're in the house, and it shaped my taste in music and what I felt music was. And then like after years of recording my own taste in music, I was able to like basically attach myself to hip hop predominantly. It's just like the best art form for me. And when I was 18, around the 17, like I was at a family reunion. I got with my uncle, Frank, Subtil Frank. If you watch this, I don't know, I'll send the link. And he was talking to me like what I want to do in my life. They're always concerned like what are you gonna do, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And like I was like, I'm not sure, man. Like like what? I'm not sure. I just give my options open. And he's like, what do you like to do? Because he told me one very important thing, that people are generally good, are successful what they enjoy to do. So I was like, I enjoy listening to music. And he's like, perfect, right there. Your cousin does music. Get with him. He can help you get started in music somehow. Like, see what you can help you with. I was like, sure, like, all right. So I hit up Tragic and like, I was like, yo, I want to rap. Like, can you help me? He's like, yeah, sure, come through. And we came and we started like talking about it. From there, we started really like started to take it completely seriously. So basically, it's almost like instantly I took it serious. Like I decided I wanted to do it, so I immediately went full force. I wasn't dabbling. I wasn't like bullshitting around. I was like legit trying to like make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then I didn't have nothing. I was literally like fresh, nothing, no connections, no nothing. So I was basically relying on him. And from there, he got me some connection with Chris. Shout out DJ Night Out, and with like who else? Danny, the graphic, another rapper from Gilroy, who just basically helped mold me into an artist and get him like the ones to do like what do you do? How do you go about this? Marketing, name, which is the hardest part. That was the hardest part to get us a name.
Name, yeah.
Yeah. Thought about changing it many times, but I never do. I'm just like, nah, I already chose it. I'm not going back.
It's so funny too, because there's so many people there's so many rappers that have Reckless as a
I
name.
know, yeah. Especially when I started putting music up on Spotify, I was like, fuck. I had to share a fucking account with like 50 people. But it's whatever.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, I have to deal with like I think there's like three or four different 1AMs that I get mixed up with.
Yeah, if only you had an original name from the beginning that was completely original and it could not be taken. Good thing that never happened. So
hey,
basically
you stuck with it. You are Reckless. To me, when I think of Reckless, I think of you. So
dope. That's what I was going for.
So speaking of Spotify, real quick,
okay.
That's how we met, isn't it? Did you find me on Spotify? I think you like heard one of my tracks.
Actually, sure? Interestingly enough, the way I heard about you was I was working for homeboynation.com once upon a time ago, and they were having me like sort through a bunch of songs. They're trying to put out a bunch of mixtapes, so I was the one sorting songs and checking out who's gonna be in this, who's not, who sucks, who's this. It was a really, really grueling process. So many people were trash, just like, gosh, like I ended up deciding, okay, I'm not even gonna go through this anymore. I'm just gonna pick the most fucked up name I can find and see if I can like.
Oh my gosh!
So I was like, "Who's this OG Chunks? I gotta see what this motherfucker's all about." And I was like, "Holy shit, it's a girl!"
And it's a tiny girl.
The tiny ass girl. Your picture was you in a dress or something. I was like, oh, okay. It's not a big. I was thinking a big ass cholo dude with a ponytail or some shit, but nah, it was a young ass girl. That
I
was shit.
know.
Yeah, I heard the song off the Realist mixtape. From there, I think you sent in a song. I don't know. I remember what it was called. But it was one where you're talking about you're in a bus. You went to a bus. You only had a $5 bill, so you just paid
Oh
for it. You talking about
yeah,
your day.
I was like talking about being high on a bus, going to school
Yeah,
or going.
forgot what the fuck that was. I remember relating to that line so much because there was a moment in my time where I went to a bus and that happened to me, and it just was so bad. Like, this is not fair. We should get change. This is my money. I worked hard for it. What the fuck? But that just brought me back to that moment. I'm like, this artist has talent. It can bring me to a certain moment in time. I gotta work with this person. So that's basically how I got into your music. So shout out
Damn.
to Hoenn Nation.
When was that too? That was like I'm pretty sure I was still in high school too when we
You
met.
were, you were hella young. You're still in high school, but it's just like I don't know, like how I came about it. It's like
That's
it
funny.
fell into place. I guess you're just submitting songs or some shit. Maybe I don't know what
I
happened.
don't, cause
Or,
when I first started, I never like I just put it on Spotify. Or not Spotify. I put it
back
on
then.
SoundCloud, and then maybe someone submitted my songs because apparently there's
Uh-huh.
certain websites that have some of my songs, and then people were like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
found you on this site." I'm like, "Oh, I never." Okay, that's cool.
Hey, it's cool. You got support like that. You know, people are trying to put you out there.
It's cool though, cause like when I first met you, I remember
Uh,
we met at the library, right? And we
yeah.
were writing to one of those old school beats. Was it Sitting Sideways or what was
No,
it?
it was still
Still
tipping by
Tipping, yeah.
yeah, by
And
drums.
from there we've been great friends ever since. And I've been
Yeah.
following you and check in here and there. I know I don't post anything about it or I don't let you
Yeah.
know, but I see you. I see you. You
Oh,
be
I feel the eyes
working.
on me. I feel the eyes on me. All right.
So you recently just put out an album called Cowboy Bebop. So kind of tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about that.
That project was um pretty interesting. It was a journey making that project. It was a wild time because I was starting to focus on a solo project. I just dropped a compilation. So I
Hmm.
want to do solo stuff with just my music and really try to uh showcase who I am as a person and as an artist. So got a lot of songs recorded here and there throughout many years. It took a couple years to make it. It took 7 years to make that project.
Yeah, I
I know it's a
remember.
long time. I know it's a long time, but I want to make sure, right? I want to be comfortable with it. I want to be dreading something like fuck. That was supposed to be this, but it wasn't. Like I don't want to be that kind of artist.
Dedication
So
though. You showed a
yeah,
lot of
and
dedication.
yeah, and it made me feel comfortable with the project when it was done. Like yes, this is exactly what I want to put out, accomplish the goal, and it felt good. So it was the right decision to take my time on it.
Yeah.
Um, I that project is actually very interesting because it became a concept project
Mm,
after a while of making music because certain songs on there for a reason. Some songs are not there for a reason because there's songs that were supposed to be on there that weren't. It just didn't
mm,
fit. And the songs that were on there, I have two or three songs that are really really old
mhm,
that I decided to put them on there because the concept of the project, for those who don't know, it's basically like Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy, my dad is known for being a cowboy back in the day.
mm,
So he's basically influenced that part of the music, and bebop's a type of music. So it's like cowboy music. So it's like music of the son of cowboy. And for me, the kind of cowboy I am, I'm a kind of man who I take in the past. Sometimes I look back all the time. I shouldn't do it, but I do a lot. And inside the tray of the CD, it says man desperately look for I forget. I don't want. I'm gonna butcher the line, but it's basically saying people look desperately to the past to make sure they actually did live, because they're not sure because they're already dying. Like, did I even live my life? Like,
yeah.
if I gotta look back and see any kind of proof that I did. So there's three songs on there that incorporate a moment in time. So those songs on there for that reason. So basically it's me shifting from back, present to the past, present and past. So
What
that's
songs
why
are
they're on
those?
there.
Those specific ones.
The songs are Faye with featuring you. It's on there. Come Correct with Green. That was another one. And the last one was, I wanted to say it was Asteroid Blues with Miss Honey. Yeah, I think that was
Mm,
that one. Those are three songs that are the past. They incorporate two moods too. So like it was cool that during the past I still felt the same kind of feels that I still do today. So it's like, you know, I'm not that much of a shadow of who I was, but at the same time, like there are other stuff throughout the album that points out that I kind of am. So it's like it's very, very intricate. You won't face value, you won't even notice it. It's like, oh, I put out a bunch of songs. That's cool, but you know they're actually more deeper than they actually appear to be. You know, I mean that you know I know what they mean, but most people won't. But you know, the
Yeah.
real one.
Well, for the people who actually like listen to music and love to
Yeah.
dissect it and stuff like that, those are the people that will really get it and really cherish it, you know?
Oh yeah, like I had people who like actually took the time to look at the actual CD and found out some Easter eggs on it. Like, hey yo, I saw this. Like I didn't know that was pretty clever. You did that. Like, oh shit, that's what's up. Like
Yeah.
I'll give away one of them. Like when inside the tray, the CD underneath the CD on the side, there's like a little like coordinates, like you know atlas, you know longitude and all that shit, you know for the maps for atlas.
Yeah.
And there's a certain coordinate on that. If you type it into Google, it'll legit tell you the exact coordinates for Gilroy, California.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so basically it represents that in that vastness of space you see in the back, in that little corner, that section, these exact coordinates, that's Gilroy.
Damn, I didn't even
That's
know
where
that.
we
I'll
are.
have to go back
That's where
and,
we
and
are.
inspect those little Easter eggs.
There's a lot of
I
shit in
didn't even know
that fucking
that.
album. Yeah, there's so much stuff on the album that's just hidden that you don't even notice. That's why it took 7 years to make. You know, it just because I had to make the project make sense because
Right.
I didn't want to just make a project just had a bunch of songs I recorded that I enjoyed because I felt like it needed to be more than that.
Right.
Everyone's doing that. Everyone's just putting out songs that they record in the studio that everyone thought was cool. Like, all right, cool, yeah, you liked it. I'll put it on the project.
Right.
It's like, nah, like I wanted something that meant more. Even if people didn't really like will appreciate it, or people won't even like those songs because they sound dated, but they fit a purpose for me. So it's like, you know, I don't regret them. And hey, some people actually did enjoy them, which is surprising. I was like, you like that? That sucks. So
You're all
you know, it
surprised.
felt good. Like you were meant to like that, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, okay, so in those 7 years of making this album, what are some takeaways? Like what is something that you learned that you'll take into going into the next move forward?
One thing I will do is like take forward is like time management because you got to really like find time to do a lot of this stuff, and like if you let it like linger too long, you end up you know having a year of like oh fuck like I didn't do so much for this project. You start like lagging and stuff, which is something I'm still struggling with, but right now it's just for other reasons. But at the time, like I took for granted that like I have plenty of time to like make music when I think I don't. You know, a lot of people think they don't have time. You know, they get out of work, they're tired, they don't want to do shit, but you know. I can recall times where I was tired from work and I still went out to the club and do some shit. Like, oh, I still went out to hang out with my friends, have them fuck around, or play video games for a couple hours. And it's just like this time could have been used to write a song, to like update a song or something, you know. Like, but I didn't. I chose this because I made a excuse. Like, no, I'm tired. No, I'm this. I'm not inspired. But you know, now I'm just like finding ways to shatter that so I can just be more productive. I thought I wasn't productive, but like it wasn't to the pace that it should have been because like I could have done more to like accelerate the process. But hey, I learned that. So something I'm gonna take with me in the next project, which is why the time management is much more like controlled now than it is when I was making that shit. So
Yeah.
but
I think that's probably especially like being an independent artist, time management and not making sure you don't take on too much, but making sure that you're doing enough, you know.
Exactly. Also, what I was gonna say, like people who like also get discouraged with that, that's something that I struggled with because like I felt like even if I did a lot of work, I felt like it wasn't enough, or like that I would take too much time off for it's like not even worth it. But you know that shit is just in your head. You know, it's never that. You know, just gotta break through that. Just you know, make your project and be proud of what you make, and you'll reap the benefits of what you create.
Yeah, exactly. So for this project for Cowboy Bebop, did you like put it through your label with your cousin, or did you do this by yourself, like pay for all the beats and like the artwork and all that stuff?
It was done through mostly me and my label, but I incorporated help from like my cousin because he did the graphics for the whole thing, and he helped like guide me in certain instances, like oh you should do this. Oh, he's probably like you know I suggest you should do this for this project or get this feature or this feature might not be that good. You know, just take advice from him, and then from there, like that's why I was able to incorporate the logo for Devil's Ways to be able to be a project under that catalog.
Yeah.
And I also got help from Troubles, homie Troubles from San Jose, because He helped distribute my album, press it up, and he did a verse on a song with me and B Dog, and he like helped like push it through promotion as well. He promoted the fuck out of it, and he helped me like get some CDs stocked in other countries, which is fucking like mind blowing. That was pretty cool that happened.
Yeah.
And with his help, I was able to get connections to like kickstart my next project I'm working on right now. So that was a good connection, which I've known him for many years, but we just didn't really like click like this before until like he like started really fucking with me heavy when I dropped that Dear Music video. Like he really liked that song and he wanted to
Yeah.
work with me and he wanted to help me out. So did a business move with him and he helped me put out my project. So it got put out faster than it would have been.
Hey, that's what's up. So I guess for having your own label, technically that is kind of like being independent because you're in charge of your own label, right?
Yeah, like basically I was the one who initiated a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the people who don't really know anything about what we're talking about, how would you even define like being an independent label?
Basically, I would define it as like you get handed a certain like business, like say you get like a whole like space. You're in charge of keeping that space the way it is, like and not losing like as much as like as well as money as well as also interest in that shit. So you're in charge of putting whatever you want in there to sell, to make a business, to make money and profit, to be able to pay for the space and all that. And the more work you put in, the more you'll be able to go in there. And then like
Yeah.
the less you put in, the harder it's gonna be to maintain that, and they'll discourage you to just quit and sell the business or leave and all that stuff. So it's basically like a career of passion, like a passionate career. You need to really want to be in this because if not, then you're not gonna make it far and you're gonna be discouraged. You got the right mindset too. I'm gonna say a lot of cliches at you right now because like
It's
it's basically
okay.
what it is. No,
That's
because there's a
what it
reason
is
for it.
though. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And
So
you
the reason it's a
know,
cliche is because it's true. Like you gotta put in work, you gotta be dedicated, you gotta have the right mindset. You're not doing it just to get famous, you're doing it because you love what you do. That
mhm.
makes you like have longevity, that helps you like get more fans and get more like, inspiration to make more music. So it's like that's the kind of mindset you gotta have. So and a lot of people don't have that. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Well, I know just from knowing you, I remember a long time ago, I'm pretty sure you were the one who told me, or no, it's not like you gotta spend money to make money, but you gotta like
don't
basically
be
just
afraid to invest in
invest.
yourself. Don't
Yes,
be afraid to invest
that's
in yourself.
that's what you said to me, and I
Yeah.
thought I always like held on to that. That always like stuck with me, and now I am where I am, right? I have all my stuff. I
Oh yeah.
invested in my shit. I invested in my time. I thank you for that, for telling me that knowledge.
You're welcome.
So for the rest of the people, for other independent artists, what is some knowledge that you could drop and in all your experience of doing this, what is probably something that needs to be known?
One thing you gotta know is that you gotta know your budget. You gotta know like what you have to acquire to make a certain sound you want, and work making that a goal in order to be able to achieve it.
Mhm,
Because yeah, there's a lot of equipment out there you can use that's very cheap and like time cost effective, but it's just like you're not gonna get the best quality out of it. And which is good to practice and all that, but to get to where you want to go, you have to like be prepared to invest not only in that aspect, but in acquiring beats. You don't want to just go on YouTube and download free stuff and then have shit not cleared and people sue you later if you get big and stuff like that. Yeah, basically people don't take into account buying beats, paying for artists to like make graphics for yourself, for your CDs, your promos. You got to take advantage of features. You got to know
mhm,
if they're going to charge you or not. You got to get a steady income. You got to be able to like find a job that can accommodate any expenses. If you have any way to save money, if you have any choir stuff, you got to really invest and put all that into your music. You got to look at it as a career.
mm,
You're going into a career. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to really do what you can to be financially stable for it. There's
mhm.
a lot of shit that's gonna happen. You're gonna get burned on money. You're gonna buy beats you're never gonna use. You're gonna buy like a bunch of like features you might never use either. I have fucking in that cabinet right there. I have CDs of features I've gotten that I've never used. You
Damn.
know what I'm saying? So like because it didn't
Great
fit
fault.
or circumstances happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like I fall out of love to make that song, so it just never came to fruition. But I got the verses for it, so it just shit like that happens. Yeah, you're gonna learn through this process what you need, what you don't need, what you thought you wanted, and it didn't happen. So like prepare to have money for it. You gotta be able to budget. I don't know how I got this pen in my hand, but it's cool. You gotta be able to like have that foundation, because if you don't, you're just gonna get discouraged. And when you get your, cheap equipment, try to get back to at least put content out there, you're gonna get mad that people are talking shit about how it sounds or what the fuck this and that. So
Yeah.
you gotta be able to have that.
Yeah. And also knowing that, I mean, if you don't have money and you're trying to do this, there's always a way to get good quality audio, at least nowadays with the technology that we have.
Of course.
And also just saving your money instead of spending on like a video game or something. Just make a little fun for yourself and start
Another
saving.
big thing I want to say too is that don't blow all your money on a feature that you think is going to help you get out there more. That won't happen, because a lot of times maybe the song's not the right song.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the song that's going to hit. Maybe like she's not going to feel the song, or he's not going to feel the song as much on the song. And then that's versus half-assed, but you paid for it. Now the song's not as bumping as it could have been. A lot of stuff could happen. So like, pay within your budget. Take it now. Like, I'm not gonna be able to afford this person, so I'm not gonna put them on the project. Maybe for a feature or something. Don't like hold that dear to yourself. Like, I need to have this guy on my album. It's like, no, it's just gonna charge you $3,000 for a verse, and it's not gonna go anywhere. But he's gonna get richer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only way you to really like reap any benefit from paying a lot of money like that for a feature is if you do a project with them. That's more like, better for you, because you're actually putting out a project that's going to be under his catalog as well. That's better for you than paying like hella money for one feature that a verse song that might not even blow. So it's like,
so don't put all
I
your
know
eggs
people
in
who
one
have
basket.
exactly, because I know artists, I know certain rapper from out here who paid hella money for a verse from Snoop Dogg, and
No way.
yeah, he even got a video with it and everything. Got to meet him in the studio with him.
No way.
And
That's cool.
I bet you've never heard of this man.
Probably not.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere. Like that was like what, 2011, and you never heard from him since. So he moved to Gilroy too, actually.
That's
so,
important to know, though. Yeah, that is some good knowledge right there, because I think a lot of people just see what they see like on YouTube and Instagram, but they don't really know the behind the scenes and what really goes into this. There's so much blood, sweat, and tears that go into this, so much time and sacrifices.
They don't take into account also the artists that they pay for. Even they fail in their projects. Maybe they'll put out a project that doesn't hit, and then they lose popularity and they're not as relevant, and that money is not even worth that feature anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but you paid before that project dropped, and now you have that feature, but then that shit sucked, and then it makes you associated with that by default. You don't think about that, you never know when your favorite artist is gonna fail or be irrelevant, but you pay hella money for the feature because you wanted it. So like, you gotta keep in mind, just because they have a name doesn't mean that name's gonna help you in any way, like you think it will.
Very true. Don't depend on bigger artists.
Just focus on your
the
craft, get better.
You're the star. You're supposed to shine.
Yes. Exactly. Not them. Don't give them a platform. They have plenty of platforms. Make your own.
So I guess the next question kind of ties into what you were talking about with budgeting and money, because let's face it, as hip hop artists, we love to flaunt and show off and just say, yeah, I got money, but realistically, the smart artists are the ones that have their shit together, and they they really keep track of their finances, and they really sacrifice,
Yeah.
So
ask me a harder one than this after this.
As an independent artist, how do you sustain yourself? Like, do you make money off of your music, and is it enough to sustain yourself, or do you have a second job?
Oh, I absolutely cannot sustain myself off my music. Yeah, I have a day job that I use to finance my stuff. There's no shame in it. People want to be like, they have a lot of egos that, oh my God, like I'm just doing this full fledged. Respect me. I took this risk. I'm a brave person. But it's like, that's cool. Kudos for you. But it's like, you don't have that foundation that you would if you had a day job. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I make a lot of money in my job, and I'm able to do a lot more with it because of it. Even with my past jobs, I work within that budget to make what I had to make happen. So it's like, wherever you at, just have a job to finance yourself, learn to save, budget, sacrifice, don't go out when you don't need to, don't spend on shit you don't need to, you don't need a PS5, I got a PS4, that works great. And
Hey.
like, yeah, so like I pay kid in hearts all day. So it's like, yeah, you just gotta be able to have a job like that to be able to help you. If you don't have it like that, if you're not balling like that off your music, don't front, don't act like you are. Just bite the bullet, go to fucking, I don't know, like a department store or wherever you can get a job and just work for it. I know
Yeah.
people who've actually like started off just at an actual place like that, and they got bigger and they're able to afford shit later with their music. So like, you can make it. It's fine. Like, you don't have to like fake it.
Yep,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
important. That's important. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
some people like to live off that whole thing where you fake it till you make it, but sometimes that doesn't work. And sometimes that
No, it doesn't.
gets you in a bigger hole than
Yeah. Yeah. I even know people who make good money off their music and they just spend it on dumb shit, and it's like they don't even save. So I don't even know how they're gonna do later on. So it's like you gotta be able to keep that in mind as well when you get to that level, when you start making money off your music, be able to invest it again into yourself again to keep growing. If not, you're just gonna ride a wave. You know, that's how one hit wonders happen. They ride on the success of one project or one single and then just ride it to the ground and then don't have time to really like have a comeback for it, and then just stay
right.
stagnant and they become forgotten. So
Right.
that's how it goes.
Well, thank you for answering that because that I think money is a topic that a lot of people don't really like to talk about when it comes to like art and stuff like that. And I think
Oh,
it's
I'm
a
fully open to that.
yeah, I think it's a
Yeah,
pretty important thing to talk about because this is an expensive hobby or
it
it's an
really
expensive
is
career.
career.
So it's
Yeah,
important
because
to
when you open up yourself to that conversation, it helps artists build up better because they're not all hiding behind a facade of trying to like appear bigger than they are, because they're
mhm,
open about it. It's like that way, like you ask for a verse, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, what's your budget looking like?" Which is a better question than like, how much you got, or like, like anything like that. It's like, okay, I got
mhm,
this budget, blah, blah, blah. They'll go to work with you. But if you don't have that conversation, it's people like, "Oh, you look like you got money. I'm charged this much." You'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got it. I got you next week." Like,
mhm.
like you just
Yeah,
start like biding your time.
you don't want
Because I know artists
IOUs.
who like I know artists who like, oh, like have a name and they like have people like that. They come at them every week like, oh yeah, I got this on this day, on for sure this day, and then they go ghost on that day, and then like when they have the money, they don't even want to work with them anymore. They're like, you know what, bro, you already played me too many times. I don't even if you have it, I don't even want to work with you. So it's like you can't appear like that either. So you got to make sure you have that conversation.
Yep,
Be real with yourself. You don't have money, you have a day job, work with that. Work,
exactly.
move accordingly so you be able to like, make your dreams happen within your budget.
Right, right. That yeah, that's important because we are all struggling right now. I'm sure,
Yes,
except
the
for
whole
the big
country is.
corporations, but it's
Oh, they're
important.
doing nice.
Yeah, they're just balling off of us. But so as far as like budgeting and stuff, what's the most expensive like gear or like beat or feature? What's the most expensive thing that you've come across in your music career?
Let's see. There's a lot. 'Cause I pay a lot of stuff, a lot of money for shit. So it's
Mm.
like, for example, like pressing the projects is the big one. I spend like at least $1,500 minimum for pressing a CD up. That's just because I want that merch and I want that accessibility. Like when I'm out, like, oh, here's the album, check it out, or like
Yeah.
sell it, or put them in stores and stuff like that. So that's like one of the main big expenses that I have. It's pressing CDs. Most expensive verse I've ever paid for. I know it's in around the hundreds. Um, Probably like, see how much I think Lazy was probably the most expensive one I paid for. It was like what, like $2,000 or some shit like that. Because
Damn.
yeah, because we're doing like a project, like
Oh
two
yeah.
projects.
There you go.
So yeah, so it's like two cohesive albums together with the video. So all that together incorporated around like 2,000 some dollars. So that's like the most expensive like feature I've ever done. So
Wow.
like, and so I saved up for it. I made like some funds to be able to accumulate for that and shit. So it was able to happen accordingly, what I mean? And they work with you because if you're honest with them, they're honest with you. If I was one of those rappers that was like, yeah, I got it like that, bro. I got you next week. And like, like they gave me the price. I'm like, ooh, it's that much? Okay. Saying like it wouldn't happen. It would just shut me down. But I was honest, like, all right, this is how much I have right now. Like I get paid this much at a certain time, blah blah blah. Like, like if you give me this much time, like I can be able to accumulate it, people have, people, I luckily have people who know me, so they just hit them out like, yeah, he's good for it. So they
Yeah.
trust me. And then like I overcompensate what I do. Is like, all right, so this much is this, and I also got you this much for this, and blah blah blah. So told me what's the feature, so he's charging this much. He has this much right now. You good? He's like, oh shit, all right, yeah. Tell him, yeah, that's good. Send him to my shit. All right, what's up? So they get like surprised, because they see that I'm serious and I really want to do something. So they help me out. They do shit like that. So
hey, honesty is the best policy.
Exactly. You ain't gotta fake it. You ain't gotta fake it, man.
I'm just curious, like, because for me, I had it all planned out. 2020 was my year, just like everyone said.
It was my year too. It was supposed
and I just fell flat on my face. How did 2020 treat you?
That shouldn't be that bad, to be honest. Like, it gave me time to like really like work on shit because I was for a time furloughed from my job. So like I was able to have this time, to just work on my music and be paid at the same time. So it's like I was able to put out my project and be able to promote it more efficiently, put it out in stores more, go out to the people, my mask on, of course, and like be able to promote it like that. So it was cool. And it gave me more time because my friends also got, furloughed and they were to have more time to make music. That's how I have like a couple of my people in my camp are now making hella music right now. Hey. They're like really benefiting off of this fucking epidemic. So like it's really helping us out, giving us time because we all work like a motherfucker. Like we work so much. So like to have that time was such a blessing for us. So it really helped us out to get back into the groove of music. Like when I dropped my project, that was a big thing because it inspired everyone to like get on it more. Like, oh shit, like, you dropped a project? Fuck yeah, I want to do something too. So everyone started going in. So it was like a good time. They had time now too. So we got a lot of shit cooking.
That's what's up. How did you go about like? Cause you dropped Cowboy Bebop last year, right?
Yes, it did. Last year in April.
How did that like as far as like promoting it, since there weren't too many like live shows, like if any, but how did you go about promoting that album?
Internet was a good one. I went to a lot of like people I knew who like do like reviews on albums, and I was able to have my album sent to them and like, hey, yo, dog, I need my album review. You got me? Yeah, sure. Send it to them, and then from there, like just promoted that they were doing it, even if it was not the best reviews. Like fuck it, like they're promoting it. People they're seeing that people are taking interest in the project, and they can form their own ideas about it. I had people engaged. I got a lot of trolls hit me up when that shit happened. It was pretty cool, and like I was able to also go to different places that I knew people and be able to promote my project and give out CDs to certain things. I go to different recording sessions or interviews or like go to like different pop-up spots that they were still doing while the COVID was going on. I was able to promote my album, get the word out, and then like it was cool. Like, people were out there checking it out, and like it was good. Like I took a lot of risks. I probably shouldn't have, because it was pandemic. I should have been inside, but I did take those risks. I took the safety precautions, but like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do unless you really want to promote it,
Exactly.
I think I did like one pop-up show that you did. That's probably like the only time I performed like anything from that project. So like that was pretty cool that I at least got to experience that a little bit. You know what I mean? I was hoping to do a lot of shows this year to really like promote the album like that, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So
yeah, I mean, you could do a live. You could do lives on Instagram or YouTube or something.
Yeah, I can do that. It's gotta get a better setup in here because it looks pretty cool in here, but it's not as pleasing to the eye. I always want to have the best to present my music, so it's like I'm.
Well, your camera's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and, and you got the background going with Selena and Aaliyah.
We love Selena out here.
Yeah.
We fake worship Selena.
Oh shit! Damn, that's legit. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Señora Reina del Tex-Mex. That's why we pray every night.
That's what's up.
You're like bitty bitty bum bum. You didn't see that, but when you replay, you'll see what I did.
Okay. So, do you have any future goals, like for this year, at least for 2021? Like, what can we expect from you?
You can expect a lot this year. Like three collab projects in the works. So that's to look forward to. I got my collab with Troubles and Lazy Boy. Those are going really good. Yesterday, I finally narrowed it down to the first 10 songs I want to release first. So I finally have that down. So those songs are going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited for everyone to hear those. I got a lot of interviews planned out for my YouTube channel as well. like pretty well known artists from like the Central Valley that I'm gonna cover. So those are gonna be really exciting, especially one of them. His name is Criminal. He's a really popular rapper from out there. He has like this style of rap that's different. It's like a very we call it carnalismo kind of rap. Like it's very like old school, like cholo-ish kind of rap, but it's like, you know, that accent, heavy accent, and then in this cadence. It's fucking dope. It's really cool. You rarely see that, and so I want to interview him, give him more of a platform and shit. So like doing that. I got a couple big ones I have because I noticed in my my channel I'm about to hit my 100th video. So
wow.
I want to make that 100th video a really, really big interview. So like already in the works, getting my money up to like get that feature secured. And when that happens, it's gonna be like, wow, this motherfucker got this person on this fucking interview. So that's a good one. That's a big goal. I'm really looking forward to really like get my interviews out there more, you know, and have everyone check out the past interviews because of that one. So it's cool. Hoping to expand my podcast a little more, do a lot more interviews, a lot more episodes. So me and my cousin, we actually got together today, and we're just planning out like our next few interviews. We already got like 2 already lined up for what we want to do. We already got like, a couple of equipment we're already gonna buy.
Nice.
I bought some stuff earlier today, so it's like we're already getting that set up.
For your podcast, can fans, if they're listening, can they submit like topics and stuff that they want to hear you guys talk about?
Yes, by all means. Yes, by all means. Like we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, and actually on Anchor, where we also host our podcast, like there's a section where you can leave questions and comments in the very bottom of each episode, and we always read them every day. So you can leave like what topics you want us to cover, stuff you want to ask us, or anything you want to like, you know, see in our, you know, people we want to see as a guest. We have that covered on there. So leave a comment, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, you know. So you can follow us at DJB Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. And from there, you can submit any questions you want, any suggestions or guests you want to see. Hit us up on there.
Okay. And for people who want to follow you, what is the best way to follow you?
Follow me on Instagram at RecklessDWR. That's RECKLESS DWR. There's no W before my name. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Reckless408. And follow my YouTube channel at RecklessDWR as well. You see all my YouTube videos on there.
All right, you guys, you've heard it here first from Artists at Work. We were speaking with my homeboy Reckless.
What's up? What up?
And thank you for being on this. This is just kind of like some project I just want to do. So thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Once again, my name is 1AM. I'm your host. This is Artists at Work. Thank you guys for tuning in.